Hello, 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 and welcome. I wanted to make a quick, short video on my relatively new druid build. I don't really know this is a new druid build. I'm sure it's been done before. However, I kind of had I guess I want to say I want to hope a unique take on the druid build. And I found out that I really like it. It's actually a really comfy Magic Find build. It's there's not a lot of button pressing. Everything kind of just dies to my hurricane. You're gonna tornado, of course, on like cold immunes, bosses, stuff like that. But for the most part, if you're under players 5 at least, most everything dies in a few ticks to your hurricane. So I want to show you my setup, my weapon swaps, my options, and stuff like that I have for my build. So let's go through the gear to begin with. So we got our shitty CTA, just an average one, 35 Spirit. I have a +3 Ellie, +3 Hurricane, blue helmet, which is insanely rare. Unfortunately, I only rolled one socket out of 2. If I would have hit 2 sockets, it would have been fucking super money. And I could have maybe put a Cham rune in there, but since I don't have 2 sockets, I'm not going to run a Cham right now, because I need to hit the faster cast rate breakpoints. So yeah, I got my 10 FCR ring here with some dual res, just some generic rings. Nothing costly, nothing crazy. Just some generic FCR rings. I got arachnids, trangules. I need the FCR, the cold resist is a plus. This is a big component of the build, which is Doom. As you can see, I rolled super high on the negative cold resist, 59 out of 60, and near perfect. I was really happy with that. And I'm running a negative 15 cold, plus 15 cold Troll Hunter, pretty mid rolls. This thing is super good, super useful, and it looks awesome. And it also helps me know which weapon swap setup I'm used to on each side. So if my shield's showing, as well as the aura, super nice. I got some more Travs, and I got some FCR amulet that's decent too. A bunch of midlifers, anti-torch, some random resistance charms, nothing crazy. So I use Earth Shifter. I'll show you right now. Strictly on for boss killing, mostly Bale. It's really the only boss you need help with. And the reason I use this is because I farm often in high player volume games, like player 6 plus. So I'm killing Bale with like +7 to 8 players. So this really helps, and I carry this with me for a pre-buff of amp damage. Now it seems silly, but it cuts your Bale kill time in like half, if not more than that. So it's really useful for just Bale kills. Check out my damage for. So I got some big tornado damage with this out, so that's kind of nice, and it has that 10 FCR to hit me to that 86 break. I don't remember, but it's enough to hit my breakpoints, so that's good. Same with this as well. So yeah, let's do a quick chaos run. I just want to show you. This is players 1, mind you, and I never honestly use full inventory. I usually use only 4 GCs. I'm running a Geeds too, so I'm not even running full Ellies. I'm -1, but let's do a quick run. The only downside to this build is sometimes you drink mana pots. It's not like a lot, but you'll pick up and drink some mana pots. It's honestly not the worst thing. It's not a big deal either. It's not as bad as you think. It's like once in a blue moon. But because this build is so relaxed and so chill, no pun intended, you really just only have time to loot. So forgot my CTA. I was like, what am I missing here? With our pre-buff and everything, we got 3,400 Hurricane, and we are penning -80 plus our Infinity. I'm running Infinity over Reaper's Toll. Generally, what most druids, wind druids, will run Reaper's Toll for the damage amp. However, I'm mostly focusing on a Hurricane, where this, side points into the tornado. Not really capitalizing too much, but just your generic 35 AS, Fortitude, and Warpike. The reason I chose Warpike over the Mancatcher is because I need big damage for immunity kills. Also, if you have a health buff, the higher damage ones are just generally better, in my opinion. You can have your own opinion on that, but I think it's just better. Plus, since Warpike is just insanely strong. All right, let's do it. And like I said, you really don't cast. It's just super relaxing. It's kind of like playing like a Oradin basically, but you don't suck and you're not running around like an idiot. Because the one downfall to running, let me cut this in. The only downfall to running at Oradin is you don't have Enigma because you have to run Dragon, Hand of Justice, and stuff like that. So this is kind of nice. I hit the breakpoints, my teleport's really fluid. We'll cast some tornadoes in this fucker, but generally, yeah, you don't really just kind of set it and forget it. It's honestly, it's nice just because you're constantly messing around with loot on the ground. And like, yeah, with your beasts, your army and shit, really nothing really frightens you. God, I can't loot, I forgot. Small Charm's triggering. I forget that in showcase rooms you're not supposed to loot, but it's so ingrained into me, right? Like, you're just supposed to pick it up. That's one of the, like, for me, I enjoy looting. I enjoy IDing items. I'm such a weird player like that. It's like one of the things that really makes the game fun, because you never know what you're going to find, honestly. So there's always some godlike item ready to find. So yeah, minus the cold immunes, like, I know I could be a little bit more efficient, I could like corral them better, but I really don't care, because I'm just kind of trying to showcase how nice this build is. What's really nice is even the cold immunes get holy freezed, so you can kill them very easily with Tornado, which is actually something that's just really nice, because these motherfuckers, they just love to run. Anyone who runs Chaos, that they just run. They run around in circles, and it's really frustrating, but when you have Holy Freeze on them, they don't do shit. You just fucking run over them. And it's basically equivalent to like a Nova Sork, but it's like not as expensive, I don't know if it's comparable. You run Enigma and Affinity, but like, Energy Sorks or Nova Sorks can be very expensive because they require, mana and stuff like that. Mana jewels, mana components. This one, I mean, sure you got Doom and Enigma, but other than that, really nothing expensive. And then, well, the Infinity is, but like for the most part, you could run this build easily without Enigma. No bullshit, you really could. In fact, I was doing it for a little bit. I was running Insight, and yeah, like that was kind of sloppy, like not really a fast run, but I was just kind of giving you a showcase. This build is really good, and World Stone as well. You kill Bale no problem. Dropped all my TPs, not the best idea. Let me show you damage with my charms. Yeah, 6600. Yeah, so when you're killing Bale, you hit the breakpoints for FCR, you got your amp. So it's really nice. Throw these back on, be my stash back. Big money. Pfft, big money. Oh my god, get out of here. Anyway, that's kind of the build. Let me show you. Let me just show you some casual Worldstone. So there are some, like, the problem with this zone is just, like, there are a few zones that are just cold immune that you can't really touch to, but, like, I just mess around with Chaos Sanctuary, Worldstone, even behind River of Flame, and I'm untouchable pretty much. They can't touch me. So there's a trick. These souls, I don't have perfect light resist, but you can work around these. If you just blink once, your Hurricane will disable them, and you can just reapply Energy Shield or Cyclone Armor. And yeah, their AI is bad. But yeah, level 3 is your favorite place to farm, though, in Worldstone, because all the mobs are just your bitch. And our Sage is gone. But yeah, it's just nice. Like, nothing really fucks with you. You can mess with the casters if you want. You really don't have to. It's just a nice, comfy build, and it's just badass. It's nice just not playing something generic. Even though this is basically an elemental druid, it's not the same, right? It feels different. It plays different. You're not spamming shit. You're just looting. It's just a loot build. It's a very fun loot build. I would say I'm close to perfect. But the only thing I can upgrade is my helmet. Actually, yeah. Yeah, helmet, maybe 1% more on the Doom. Really, that's about it. I've run the math on a lot of different builds, and this is the best setup. If you can't get your hands on a +6 helmet, Cold Faceted Nightwing is a very close item, or in terms of DPS. It's only about 600 DPS shy of this helmet. So if you wanted to play this build, just go for a Nightwing. Plus, it looks sick when you have a Nightwing helmet and you have the Holy Freeze aura. It looks really badass, I gotta tell you. Because I was using that setup as well previously to that. And yeah, like, it's just nice. You don't, like, it's just a really chill build. Very chill. And it's great for PvP too, because you don't have to cast Tornado, you can just hit them with your Hurricane and they die. Or should you not? I've been doing a bit of PKing, so yeah. As for Ghost being cold immune and physical immune, just obviously you just ignore those mobs. I could put on Silk Weaves for the mana issues, for like mana on kill and stuff like that. But like, honestly, I don't mind drinking a couple potions. I mean, I'm looting anyway. I don't mind clicking a mana pot. Alternatively, there's always Solar Creeper you could cast, but I don't really bother with that. It just dies half the time, and it's not that amazing, but it's not the worst. I will tell you, with this build, you have to really watch out with dulls. You can kill the dulls, you just have to blink outside of proximity range of their death radius, because Hurricane can hit them at max range, but if they get too close, they explode on you and you die, and it's not nice. So kind of keep that in mind. So you always want to keep these weapons out, because if you not swap to this, your Hurricane doesn't really do any damage. So keep that in mind. What else is there? What could I add? Infinity is kind of core. You can play this build without it, but it limits your farm zones and clear speed. Dual Plagues are actually really good on Act 5 Merc if you're not running Infinity, because it's way cheaper, obviously, because Chams are pretty affordable. And it plays kind of the same. Now, you rely... A trick with that build is I found that if you're playing with an Act 5 Frenzy Merc, and you're relying on Plague, it's beneficial not to take Bear, because you want your Merc to get hit when you blink onto groups, or when you're running around. if that makes sense. It seems counterproductive, but when you have your bear out, because of how tanky and useful it is, it just doesn't die. So what happens is some mobs will end up like fighting your bear instead of being pulled to your merc and yourself as well. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're going to use Act 5 Mercenary with Dual Plague. Don't put points into bear, and it'll work a lot better, a lot more consistent. And your merc won't die, so that's not a concern without the bear, because the Act 5 mercs are absolutely fucking outlandish, and they're gonna have like 8k health, infinite armor. They're not gonna, they will just never die. On top of the decurse aura, of course, of curse. Wow, so funny. I would whip out the Earth Shifter and the what's it called? The hammer with amp damage, the gavel of pain, but it's players 1, so I'd rather just show you my players 1 clear speed than bother with it at all. But you can imagine, based off my player 1 kill speed versus player 8 with amp damage and a +7 two-hander for a tornado. Note that my tornado is only 5k here, so I'm only getting like 1200, 1400 plus 100%, so I'm getting like 2800. So it's like 14k tornadoes. But as you can see, the cold res is really bad for Bale, and this kind of cuts through him on top of my crushing blows my merc. This guy's like animation locked or bugged out or something. Can we get a Tyrio's Might? No, just kidding. And that is the build. I just wanted to show it. I know it's not probably the best, but it is very fun, and maybe someone else wanted to try it. I was theory crafting with a rabies hurricane build, and I've realized that it just won't work. There's too much shit you need, and there's just not enough talent points. So yeah. Thanks for watching.